Alright guys, you watched part 1, right? Hopefully. If you didn't, go back and watch part 1, because this is part 2 of my massive CD update. So let's just get right into it. I still got a lot of stuff to go over. First one up, The Lord of Darkness, right? Ozzy Osbourne, No Rest for the Wicked. Found this at a flea market. And I don't often stumble upon this album. So yeah, this is an original CBS release from the 80s. Loved it. First album to feature Zakk Wylde, I do believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's Zakk Wylde's first album with Ozzy. And some great stuff. Miracle Man, Devil's Daughter, Crazy Babies, Breaking All the Rules. What's the one that I liked? Oh, Demon Alcohol. Great track. So, yeah, No Rest for the Wicked. More Anthrax. I talked about Anthrax in the first part. This is Persistence of Time. Love this album. I've had it on MP3 for a while. Didn't have an actual copy because it doesn't pop up very often. I never see it in CD stores or anything. So found this at the same flea market as Ozzy, and I had to get it. I love this one. It's hard for me to pick a favorite. Get it open. There we go. It's hard for me to pick a favorite Anthrax album. Their Joey Belladonna years, I love all of them. But it's so good. It's just so good. This is the album where they started to get a little more serious. You know, they put aside a little bit of their humor and they tackled more serious topics. So yeah, Anthrax. This is a band I'm fairly new to. This is Gojira, and this is their 2012 album called L'Enfant Sauvage. It's a French title because they're a French band. That's right, from France. L'Enfant Sauvage basically means the wild child. And this is not something I'd often listen to. This is like technical death metal. But I actually heard about these guys from my wife. She was talking to someone, and she mentioned how much I love metal, and this guy told her that I might like Gojira. So she told me that, and we checked them out together, my wife and I, on YouTube. And we're both kind of like, hey, this is good. I mean, not something I could listen to a whole lot. Excuse me. It's a lot of shouting, a lot of screaming the lyrics, which I'm not all that into, but I still enjoyed it. It's great. The musicianship, like the instrumental portion, is just great. It's fast. And I noticed that the more the CD went along, the more I liked it. I really enjoyed it. So I've only listened to it the once. Haven't listened to it much, but I look forward to listening to it again. This is on Roadrunner Records. So yeah, Gojira. Good stuff. Got a few Maiden titles. Got here Fear of the Dark, which I just didn't have. And Edward the Great. This is like a greatest hits compilation. This was $1. Found this at Spin It for $1. So it's not the best shape, but it's not the worst. So I had to pick it up. So yeah, just Maiden. Just because I didn't have them. And Maiden is awesome. Don't have to say much about them. Excuse me. Wow. This was a bit of a blind buy. I didn't know much about these guys. Jackal. This is Push Comes to Shove from '94 on Geffen Records. I absolutely loved this. Like, this is awesome. I saw it at the Salvation Army, and I was like, this looks like it might be kind of cool. So I went on NoLifeTillMetal.com and saw what Scott had to say about it, and he had a good review. So usually when Scott says something good about an album, I know I'm gonna like it. So I gave it a chance, and it's really good. Obvious AC/DC inspirations or influences going on here, and that is so obvious on the opening track. I mean, check this out. Huh? Does that sound familiar? Yeah, definite AC/DC influences, but it's great bluesy rock. I loved it, and this is, I think, their second album, and I'd like to find their first album for sure, and whatever else I could find from these guys, because they're awesome. I actually found this very album yesterday on vinyl, a picture disc, at a local shop, and I'm so tempted. I am so tempted, but it's gonna have to wait. But yeah, very cool. A few Kiss CDs, that I just didn't have. So, Dressed to Kill. I've had this on vinyl for years, just didn't have the CD. Building up my Kiss CD collection. So yeah, not much to say about that. And Revenge. This one I actually hadn't listened to this one in full, and it's amazing. I don't know why, I just always kind of overlooked it. And I remember when I was a teenager, I'd see it and I'd look at the back and they're wearing those leather trench coats and they have a blonde drummer and I was like, what? Kids without makeup, but this sucks, and I guess I was judgmental or maybe just plain mental. But yeah, and now I've listened to it. I'm like, this is awesome. I can't believe I ignored it all these years, but better late than never, right? So Kiss, Revenge, 1992. Next up, this is a band that's new to me, but I'm loving them. I've shown off a vinyl from these guys, a vinyl copy of their album World Gone Mad a while back, and it's CJSS, and this is their album Kings of the World, and this is a little newer. It's from 2000, so I was a little skeptical going into it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not saying that metal from the 2000s is bad. I'm just more of a fan of the 80s and 90s metal, so didn't quite know what to expect. But I checked it out on YouTube, just a few songs before getting it. And it's awesome. It sounds like it's straight out of the 80s once again. And I can't recommend this enough. The title track, Kings of the World, the opening track, great stuff. They actually have a song called The Executioner Song, which is funny. That's the name of a Razor album I showed off earlier. And there's even a cover of Locomotive Breath by Jet Rotal. Very good job on that cover. So yeah, CJSS, Kings of the World. Alright, let's move on. Got so much CDs here, I'm running out of room. Alright, Van Halen, 5150, first album to feature Sammy Hagar. It's funny, I found this brand new at the same flea market that I got Ozzy and Anthrax, and this one was still sealed. And not long after I found this, I got a vinyl copy from Jeffrey Rusnock. So thanks again, Jeff. So now I have this on cassette, CD, and vinyl. But it's such a great album. So yeah, 5150. That same trip, I got Savatage, Streets, a rock opera. I don't have much by Savatage. I want more from them. They're awesome. This is definitely, it's not their greatest album, but it's still good. It's a concept album, and I haven't listened to it much, but I like what I heard. The opening track, Streets, and the song Jesus Saves. It's cool. And what I like about Jesus Saves, it starts with like a narration, and you hear kind of like, the New York background, the traffic, and I thought that was cool. And apparently they were gonna keep that like throughout the album. There was gonna be like narration in between tracks, but they dropped that after a while, and they just kept that one, which is a shame because I like the storytelling aspect of it. But still a great album, Savatage, Streets, a rock opera. This is from 1991. Extreme 3, 3 sides, every story. This I've had this for a while. This was just to replace my other copy. This one was in better condition, so not gonna say much more about that one. Temple of the Dog. I actually picked this up about a month, maybe a month and a half before Chris Cornell passed away. And this was new to me. I didn't know much about this. I can't talk, man. I heard the story, about Mother Love Bone and how the singer passed away. And then Chris Cornell and the rest of the band kind of got together and released this with the help of Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. And this was kind of before Pearl Jam was really a thing. And then, the rest of the band and Eddie Vedder became Pearl Jam, I think. Something like that. Let me know. I might have that completely wrong, but it's like a super group of sorts. And I really enjoy this. And then not long after I bought it, Chris Cornell passed away, and it's a shame, man. Had a great voice, that guy. So yeah, Temple of the Dog. Deep Purple, Fireball. Didn't have this one. Amazing album. My favorite era of Deep Purple, which is Ian Gillan. And the return of Ian Gillan, Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers. Well, the return of Ian Gillan. This is like the reunion in '84. Yeah, and I hadn't heard this in full. Really good album. Gotta listen to it again. I'm speeding up. I'm trying not to say much about every CD, like I said, because this would just never end. Living Color, Vivid. I only knew the one song, which is the opening song on here, Cult of Personality. Cult of Personality. That was awful. But the song is not. The song is great. And every song in here is just really good. It's not very heavy. but it's very, very catchy, and some great hard rock, man. So yeah, Living Color, Vivid. The B-52s debut album. Love these guys. Love these guys. Anyone who knows me knows that humor has always been important to me, and I've always loved kind of funny, quirky bands, like Devo and B-52s. And yeah, great stuff here. Planet Claire, Rock Lobster, which is like probably their biggest hit. And I really love the song 6060A42. Catchy as all heck, man. So yeah, B-52s. Got a couple of blind buys here. I went to a pawn shop back home, and the CDs were all $1 a piece. So I saw a few titles, and I'm like, this could be good. Black Eyed Susan. This is Electric Rattlebone. No idea what this was, but I thought this looked like it could be good. It looks like it might be kind of pop metal or glam metal, but I'll give it a shot. And yeah, it is very poppy, but I mean, I enjoyed it from what I remember. I haven't listened to it much, but what I later learned is that the vocalist is Dizzy Dean Davidson, which was in a band called Britny Fox before being in here, which is also kind of a pop metal band, and it's a very similar sound. And yeah, it's cool from what I remember. So look forward to checking this out again. And same trip, another blind buy. This is Guardian, First Watch. And again, I looked at the guys here and I was like, this looks like it's gonna be like, they could see the hairspray and the outfits, and I'm like, this is gonna be like pop glam type metal. And it's Christian metal, and it's really awesome. The song I keep going back to is Saints Battalion, because the guitar on there is just so good. And yeah, this is an original release on Enigma Records, and apparently this is out of print, and goes for quite a bit of cash. So I got it for $1, so I'm not going to complain. On that same trip, this was not a blind buy. This is Rush, Exit Stage Left. Not going to pass that up for $1. Didn't have this one. Yeah, Rush, one of my favorite bands. So yeah. And speaking of Canadian bands, on the same label actually, Anthem Records, this is Coney Hatch, Best of 3. Right there in the title, this is the best of their 3 albums. And their debut album was actually produced by Mr. Kim Mitchell, and that you could hear that, especially the song Monkey Bars. Sounds like it could have been a Kim Mitchell song. But one of my favorite tracks on here is Some Like It Hot, which was from their second album, Out of Hand, I think. This is written so small, but yeah, Some Like It Hot, awesome rock and roll song. Coney Hatch. And this is the last CD, guys. We made it. Brain Scan. This is a soundtrack from 1994. And I remember that when this movie came out in the 90s. And my sister Natasha had actually rented it, but wouldn't let me watch it. And I still haven't seen the movie. It's pretty hard to find nowadays. But it's got Edward Furlong in it. And I'd be curious to see it, because the music here is awesome. We have some Tad, Primus, Mudhoney, Butthole Surfers, White Zombie, Stuttering John. Yeah, really great soundtrack. So guys, we made it. The massive CD update. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for bearing with me. Kind of slurred my words a few times, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Leave some comments below. Love getting comments from you guys. Love talking music. And got some more stuff coming your way for the summer. So be excellent to each other. This is Jex Russell saying peace out. Later, guys.